Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Cassidy Hinds. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. I know it's been a while since you've been on here. So just remind everybody, just reintroduce yourself, who you are, and, what you do.
All right. I'm Cassidy Hinds, driver of the 3C Super Late model. I race cars for a living, and I am currently a college student, going to MSU Denver for my master's in nutrition.
Awesome. So 2024 was a really good year for you. Of course, winning the track championship in Tucson and all that fun stuff. What was just recap 2024 for people that may have not followed you throughout that year, and just and it was a year that you absolutely needed.
Oh yes, yes. It was a good year. It was a year that I needed coming off of some rough couple years before that. But 2024, I raced my super late model at Colorado National Speedway and Tucson Speedway, pulling double duty, racing at both tracks almost 2 to 3 times a month. Um, it was rough. It was a long season, but it was well worth it in the end. When I came home with the championship, I think I got 4 out of the 5 or 4 out of the 6 or 5 out of the 6 track records or quick times for the season in Tucson. I finished fifth in points in Colorado, and points racing is rough. I'm gonna be honest. It's stressful. It is something that like we have never taken seriously as a team until now. And then we were like, yeah, we're gonna points race. And we started points racing and it was rough. The middle of the season was stressful. I was like, oh my gosh, what if second place catches up? What if he catches up? Like there was always a question of what if. And I mean it came out okay. We ended up okay. We got the championship. Everything was good, but it was stressful. I was stressed.
Yeah. Obviously all the stress that came with it, paid off in the end. But what did it mean to win a championship after a couple of years of, just not a lot of good luck?
Oh, it meant so much. We have been trying to get some sort of championship, whether it was just luck of the draw or anything, for a long time. And we finally got it. I finally got it, and I was just so happy. I felt so proud. Proud of my family, proud of my team, proud of the whole shebang. Like everybody is that was involved. I was proud of them all. So I think the team worked their butts off. My dad worked his butt off this season. Both my parents taking the time out of their weekends and work to travel with me to Tucson, to bring our family owned car, and my dad working on the car like day in and day out, just doing what he could. And I'm so proud of him, and I'm so happy that we got the championship to prove how hard we all work.
Yeah. So going into this season, I know, before we get into plans for 2025, it's been an interesting off season for you. What just kind of recap, like, what did you have to do? Because there's a lot of things that go on during the off season.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go on. So kind of to give a little bit of like a feedback for it, or like to start off, in the middle of the season at the SRL race in Colorado, I was hit during a incident, I guess you could say, and it ended up bending the rear clip in the car. And the rear clip is like the back portion of the car. Um, and then some way, somehow, I ended up bending the front clip in the middle of the season. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I was hit trying to pass somebody. They came down on me and it wasn't his fault. Like his spotter didn't call it. He didn't call me in. It was nobody's fault. It was just a racing incident. And so that ended up bending the front clip. So basically, instead of my car being square, it was now skewed. So it was like a diamond, basically. And so at the end of the season, after championship night in Tucson, we stripped down the car, sent the engine to California, and took the car to Michigan to get it jigged. Ended up not getting it jigged though. We were going to get it jigged, didn't get it jigged. It stayed home, and we went to Michigan, got the new chassis, and we have been rebuilding the car from scratch for the last month and a half. So since Thanksgiving, we've been rebuilding the car. We just got the engine back right after Christmas. So the car is finally completely done, and we're ready to race the Chili Willy next weekend. But it was an eventful off season. It was a
Right.
short off season and a long off season all at the same time.
So before we get into the Chili Willy, of course, which is next week, let's talk about your 2025 plans. What are you going to do?
um, that's to be determined. We have plans. We just haven't announced them yet. We don't know for sure what we're going to be doing, but we have an idea of some plans. And so stay tuned for the announcements because it'll be a good season.
And well, let's talk about the event you are going to be doing, which of course is next week, the Chili Willy. What's that going to be like to go down there to back to Tucson? Obviously, it's I know things worked out pretty well last time you were there. But what's it going to be like to go back down there and kind of have some redemption in that race because I don't think it went well for you last year.
It did not go well for me last year. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it's going to bring. I love Tucson. It's one of my favorite tracks. The character of it is amazing. We always do well there, clearly, since we have the championship now. But we always do well there. And I'm excited to see what we can do with this new car. We've never hit the track with this car before. So I'm curious to see how it behaves and the differences between this car and our previous car. Because the previous car was really good in Tucson. So I'm hoping that this one is just as good or even better. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
What are your goals for 2025?
That's a tough one. It's hard because I can't really, we have not really discussed completely our schedule. But I'm hoping to get a win in Colorado. Am, I don't want to really like express what I want out of this season just because voicing it to me feels like it could be a jinx. But I really want to win. The win is coming. It needs to come already. But so that one I could say for sure is something that I'm hoping for in the 2025 season in Colorado. In Arizona, I've kind of already done everything that I want to do. Maybe we can come and get another championship or maybe another win. I don't know, but we'll have to see.
All right. Well, Cassidy Hinds, thank you so much for the time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.